Well, last week I got this upper door completed for the front door of the sheep wagon. I've been playing with this lower one. I also had cut out the framework when I did the top, so it was the same procedure to put it together. I put the same panels that I did on the top door on this bottom door and trimmed it out the same. I had pulled the scraps from my scrap room, and this framework on the bottom one was oak, where the top one was ash. This one here was a piece of oak. When I put that vinegar metal filings on it, because of the metal filings, it turns this oak really black. So on the bottom framework, I used a mixture of tea and this iron oxide crystals, and it gave a nice gray tone. Otherwise, it would have been black like this top one, and I really didn't want that black. And that's one thing that I'm liking about some of this old wood that I'm putting in here. The wood takes the stains differently depending on how much tannic acid is in the wood. So we got quite a different variation of different hues, you know, from this gray to a lighter brown, to the fur, to the old original gray on the kitchen cabinet. It's just a nice blend, and I think that variety kind of adds character to this. So these are the old hinges that will go back on. They were bolted on instead of screws, so I'll put the same bolts back on. I just need to figure out what position that is, and I can go off of the old framework and find that position. I do still need to make the window, and we'll get that done as well. So the imprints on these old frames are going to tell us where these hinges need to go. They would be, one would be right there. They should fit up just about like so. So I've got an 1/8" shim underneath, and you see there's a little variation in the floor, but I've got the clearance here where it's tightest, and I put a pretty uniform relief here. So I think this is where I'm going to bolt her into place. Double check everything. Looks pretty good. We're kind of a quick check here. I think that'll work. Well, putting this front bow on kind of helps give a little bit of a picture of what this whole sheep wagon looks like. I still need to make the window. I think we'll tackle that too. Well, I've got an old wooden box that I collect hardware, old hinges, some door hasps, different types of stuff. Kind of a neat old box. Phoenix Never Slip, grease steel caulked. So this contained 10 pairs of number 1F shoes, making horseshoes. Phoenix Manufacturing. Huh, got Joliet, Joliet, Illinois, probably pronounce it Joliet back there in Illinois. And it looks like Catasauqua, Pennsylvania. Never heard of it. 10 pairs of shoes. You know what caulked shoes are? Well, I actually have an old package of shoe caulks. There are these sharp spikes. These are meant to be tapped and threaded right into the bottom of the horseshoe. So the horseshoe has these real sharp spikes, usually on each heel and on the toe. It's for keeping them from slipping on snow and ice. Well, that's what these shoes were. They were 10 pairs of shoes, but they had caulks on them. I guess that's why they were advertised as Never Slip. That's just what they were designed for. Anyway, I've got a little package of small hinges here that I think just might do the job. That might work just right for this window. I don't think it was this style. Maybe something like this would work. Got some brass ones. They're a little bigger, but brass won't rust, so I don't think I'll use those. I might use something like these. Even have a whole bunch of old screws that'll just match the right rusty patina for this as well. Kind of handy to have a whole box of old stuff. You never know what you're going to need. Well, I do keep a few odd pieces of glass around, different sizes, because you never know just what I'm going to need. Got some larger ones and some smaller ones, some pretty heavy plate. So hopefully maybe something will work here. The sun might be pretty close. I need 11 5/8 by about 11 13/16. Ooh, that's 11 and almost 7/8. If that is fit in there. Boy, just so close. Got a little rough right here. If I could clean that rough up, it would fit in there, I think. So close. See if I can take that down just a bit. Yeah, it makes it fit. We're a little crooked up here. Recheck my square. The frame is pretty close. My frame is square. The glass is crooked. So I may have to make 2 cuts. See how crooked that is? By an 1/8 inch. Well, I've got enough overall length. I may cut one end and square that up. Then I'll cut my other end to length. And that'll make a square. Now I need 11 5/8. Try to hold this from slipping. And see how this goes. Looks pretty good. Here we go. A nice square fit. Will be the hinge side. Just cut me a little trim and nail that in. That'll hold that in place. Well, make a few latches and we'll complete this door. You know, back when I was in my college days, I spent 3 years working at a fairly large greenhouse. It was all glass, so needless to say, I cut and installed lots of glass. And it's interesting how that experience then, 50 years ago, comes into play now, putting a window in a sheep wagon. Who'd have thought? Appreciate you coming along. Thanks for watching.